You ever wake up to the sound of someone trying to break into your house at 7 in the morning, thinking they own the place? That's how my day started, standing at my kitchen window, coffee going cold in my hand, watching this woman, Lydia Harper, our HOA dictator, slide a key into my front door like she's got every right to be there. The lock clicks, the door swings open, and she steps inside with this smug grin, like she's finally got me cornered until my wife, Sarah, walks out of the hallway, holding something that makes Lydia freeze like she's been hit with a taser. I'm Mike Thompson, just a regular guy, a city building inspector who thought moving to Willow Creek Estates was going to be our ticket to suburban bliss-neat lawns, friendly neighbors, maybe a backyard barbecue or two. Man, was I wrong. We'd barely unpacked when Lydia showed up, all fake smiles and a binder thicker than a phone book, stuffed with HOA rules that read like they were written by a lawyer with a grudge. We keep property values high with strict standards, she said, handing it over like it was the Ten Commandments. I nodded, thinking, sure, keep the neighborhood nice, I'm on board. What a fool I was. 3 days later, a violation notice lands in our mailbox. Our front door shade of blue is one hue off the approved palette. One hue. I'm a guy who measures rebar tolerances for a living, so I know precision, but this was nuts. I repainted the door, figuring, fine, let's play nice, new neighborhood, and all. Then came the next notice. Our recycling bin was out 6 hours early. 6 hours. Not a week, not a day, 6 freaking hours, and Lydia's treating it like we're running a landfill in our front yard. I started wondering if she was just a control freak with too much time on her hands, but looking back, that was like thinking a rattlesnake's just a quirky lizard. Things got weird fast. One morning, I'm sipping coffee, and there's Lydia at my front door, jingling a key ring that looks like it belongs to a medieval jailer, dozens of keys, each tagged with what I swear are street addresses. She's muttering about community access protocols, trying key after key in our lock like it's her job. My stomach's doing flips, and Sarah's next to me, whispering, is she seriously trying to break in? Her voice isn't scared, thuff, it's sharp, like she's already 3 steps ahead. I tell her to call the cops, but she's grabbing her notebook, scribbling down every move Lydia makes like she's building a case. Outside, Lydia's getting antsy none of her keys work, so she starts snapping photos of our mailbox, our driveway, even our damn garden gnomes like she's prepping for a courtroom showdown. I've had enough, so I storm outside and clear my throat loud enough to wake the dead. Lydia, what the hell are you doing? She spins around, not embarrassed, but pissed like I'm the one out of line. Emergency inspection protocol, she says, waving her key ring like it's a badge of honor. I'm verifying interior compliance after documenting exterior violations. Violations? I look at our yard, perfectly mowed, flowers in bloom, not a weed in sight. What violations? I ask. She flips through her clipboard, rattling off nonsense. Fence height's 1/8 of an inch over regulation. Mulch color unapproved. Mailbox tilled off by 2 degrees. 2 degrees. I'm about to lose it, but Sarah steps out, and the air gets 10 degrees colder. Hi, Lydia, Sarah says, sweet as arsenic. I'd love to see the paperwork for that emergency access thing, for my records. Lydia blinks, thrown off, but recovers fast. Board authorization's internal, she snaps. Homeowners don't get to see it. Sarah's already got her phone out, recording. Actually, under state law, any HOA claim over private property needs transparent documentation. So, I'll need those board minutes, your insurance for entry activities, and the legal basis for calling this an emergency. I'm staring at my wife like she's grown a second head since. When does she know HOA law? She's a paralegal, sure, but she works on corporate contracts, not this suburban nonsense. Lydia's face goes white, and she storms off, but not before slapping us with a notice demanding an interior compliance check in 48 hours. That night, I'm lying in bed, replaying Lydia's creepy key ring in my head, when I hear it scratching at our front door, 11 p.m. I grab my phone, creep to the window, and there she is, Lydia, hunched over our lock with actual lock-picking tools, like she's auditioning for a heist movie. My hands are shaking as I wake Sarah. She's back, and she's got burglary gear. Sarah's up in a flash, no grogginess, like she was waiting for this. "Call the cops," she says, already recording through the window. The 911 dispatcher sounds like she's half asleep until I mention lockpicking at midnight. "Sir, you sure it's not a family member who lost their keys?" I nearly scream. "Lady, my family doesn't carry lockpicks and work the graveyard shift." By the time the cops show, Lydia's vanished like a ghost. Sarah's not freaking out. Thuff's inspecting the lock, noting every scratch like she's CSI. "We need new deadbolts and cameras tomorrow," she says, her voice so calm it's almost scary. "Mike, this isn't about HOA rules anymore. This is felony breaking and entering." I'm still processing when Lydia shows up the next morning with some poor locksmith in tow, waving more paperwork about an emergency structural assessment. The guy looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Ma'am," he says to Sarah, "she's paying me to change her locks for safety compliance." Sarah steps forward, all 5'5" of her radiating "don't mess with me" energy. "Sir, if you touch that lock, you're committing criminal destruction of property. I'm recording, and I'll file charges against you both." The locksmith bolts faster than you can say lawsuit, muttering, "I ain't going to jail for HOA drama." Lydia's livid, screaming about her emergency powers, but Sarah's ready. "Show me the board minutes, the insurance, the legal justification," she demands. Lydia's got nothing, but instead of backing down, she gets personal. Some people think they can run from their past, but it always catches up. I freeze. "Lydia, have we met before? Why is this personal?" Her eyes narrow. "You know what you did. Families don't recover from your kind of vindictive enforcement." Before I can ask more, a cop car rolls up, and out steps Officer Tom Daniels, looking like he's seen this movie before. "Mrs. Harper, we talked about this," he says, and I notice Lydia flinch. Then it hits mesh, called him Tom. "Wait," I say. "Are you two related?" Silence stretches, and Daniel sighs. "She's my sister-in-law. And no, she's got no legal authority to do any of this." Lydia's married to a cop's brother, using that connection to throw her weight around, but Daniel shuts her down cold. She storms off, promising formal violation procedures, but her words linger vindictive enforcement. That night, Sarah's on her laptop, digging into Lydia's past. No credit history, no job, paid cash for a $400,000 house, she says. Something's off. I'm still stuck on her legal knowledge. "Sarah, since when are you an HOA law expert?" She gives me a look, half guilty, half determined. "I've been researching her since she started this crap. Something's not right about her." At 3 a.m., I'm jolted awake by power tools in our drive while Lydia's back with a full crew, like she's staging a home invasion. Sarah's already up, her face pure steel. "She's not subtle anymore," she says, grabbing her laptop and files I've never seen. We step outside, and Lydia's got that smug grin again, holding up a folder. "Emergency lock upgrade for community safety," she announces. The locksmith looks nervous, but Sarah's in full prosecutor mode. "Show me the homeowner consent forms, the board resolution, anything that says you can touch our property." Lydia doubles down. "Community safety trumps your preferences." That's when she goes too far. "You think you can hide from what you did, Mike? You destroyed my brother, Ethan Cole, with your petty inspection." Ethan Cole. The name slams into me. 3 years ago, I cited him for cutting corners on a construction site, shoddy materials, fake certifications, a building that collapsed and injured workers. He went to prison, and I heard he died in a fight. He died because of you, Lydia hisses. You made an example of him to feel powerful. I'm reeling. Lydia, he was endangering lives. That wasn't personal, it was my job. Sarah's hand grips my arm, and I can tell she knows something I don't. Officer Daniels pulls up, and this time, he's not playing nice. Lydia, step away from the equipment, he says, his voice heavy with exhaustion. She screams about community business, but he cuts her off. You've got no authority here. Sarah's recording, and she says, we'll file charges tomorrow, but for now, get her off our property. Lydia leaves, but not before snarling, this isn't over. Ethan didn't deserve what you did to our family. Our family's Ethan's sister. Sarah's quiet as we head inside. How long have you known this was about Ethan? I ask. She hesitates. I figured out yesterday, digging into her maiden name. Mike, there's more. Before she can explain, my phone buzzes with a text from an unknown number. Tomorrow, we end this. Sign over your house or lose everything. Sarah's face hardens. That's why I've been working with federal investigators. Lydia's part of something bigger. The next morning, Lydia's back with a crew, moving like they're SWAT. She's got a shiny new key somehow. She got her lock code. My heart's pounding as she unlocks our door, stepping inside like she owns the place. I call for Sarah, but she's gone until she steps out of the hallway, holding a document that stops Lydia dead. Lydia Cole Harper, Sarah says, her voice like ice. This is your arrest warrant. Lydia's clipboard hits the floor, her keys scatter, and she's frozen, mouth gaping. You're just a paralegal, she whispers. Sarah steps closer. I'm a federal investigator, and you're under arrest for stalking, harassment, and conspiracy to intimidate federal witnesses. I'm floored. Sarah's a Fed. Daniels and 2 other cops move in, cuffing Lydia as her crew bolts. Sarah explains, my inspection didn't just bust Ethan. It cracked open a multi-state fraud ring. Lydia was his partner, targeting inspectors like me for revenge. Sarah's been building a case for years, assigned to protect me since Ethan's arrest. Our marriage? It started as her cover, but she swears it's real. Days later, Lydia's lawyer drops a bomb-fake audio of me threatening Ethan, painting me as a corrupt inspector. My career's tanking, reporters are at our door, and even Sarah's starting to doubt me. The recording's so real, I doubt myself. But Sarah's team proves it's a deep fake built from scraps of my voice. Lydia's network has been framing officials for years. The truth comes out. She ran Ethan's fraud operation, targeting 12 inspectors, ruining lives. My report saved workers from collapsing buildings. But to her, I'm the villain. 6 months later, I'm at the White House, getting a medal for integrity, surrounded by workers I saved and agents from Sarah's task force. Lydia's in prison for 25 years, her keys in a museum as a warning. Sarah's still my wife, now openly a Fed, and we're rebuilding trust after her deception. The neighborhood throws us a party, and I'm reading letters from workers whose families are whole because of my work. Any regrets? Sarah asks. I laugh. Only that it took a psycho HOA lady to show me I married a badass. So, what's your wildest neighbor story? Ever had an HOA tyrant try to run your life? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear how you survived the suburban jungle. Hit that like button if you got a kick out of Lydia's downfall, and subscribe for more stories where truth beats crazy. Keep your doors locked, folks, and your neighbors honest.